And it's interesting in the concept of change too, because there's a way in which we're parsing apologies often in the public, right? Like celebrities who do things wrong. We're parsing we're really good at parsing apologies. And it's seen, rightly so, as a really important part. Have they changed? Is the apology, does it feel real? And this becomes fascinating. I mentioned earlier writing about murderers who had to convince parole boards that they were transformed. And part of that was an apology. I mean, it's a very complicated thing. But what I found so fascinating is some of these men in some California prisons, you can basically work on yourself all day long. There's therapy, there's workshops. And one guy wrote, when he was paroled, he was truly transformed after decades. And came out, he said, man, if I could find people in the real world who were as introspective as the guys that I was hanging out with in prison, who were doing the work, which was just a hilarious sort of idea but we're all, they have to convince parole boards. And in many ways, we have to convince not only our friends and our families. In many cases, often we have to convince sort of the world via social media that we are transformed or that our new identity is real. Sometimes that involves an apology, and sometimes it just involves a kind of performance of transformation, which, and it also makes all of us suspicious because whenever something happens on social media, there's always a performative aspect. So figuring out, have they changed? Is this genuine? Are they real? All of that is really complicated to figure out for us.